What up? 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 Wow, what's up? Toughest Balls is back in the building, and we said we was gonna do it the right way. We got the freaking Puerto Rican checking in from the South. He's in the dirty South down in Florida. And I'm up here. It's a sunny day. It's a sunny day up here. You know, it's in the 40s. You know, that's warm to us. That's warm to us. You know what I'm saying? So we doing it big right now, brother. We doing what we said we're going to do, and that's what we're doing. Got the freaking Puerto Rican here. Hey, we got a ton of stuff to get into today, man. I mean, a lot has been going on this past weekend, and I'm going to start it off with, something a little somber and, that's kind of upset the sports world. But you had, Tiger Woods, he had the whole accident, the other day. And that you had to sit back and like, oh man, what's going on? And the first thing, like, I know you probably thought the same thing, brother. Was Kobe, because that was over a year ago,
right?
In January, and then 2 days ago you get the news about Tiger Woods, and it's like, oh, then you see the car, and I remember I sent you a picture. You say, I heard, everybody was concerned, he was rushing to surgery, and thank God he's doing fine. He's going to recover, but man, and as a person that wasn't a fan of his for a while, I always tell people after his father passed, I wasn't a fan of Tiger anymore. Something changed about him.
Really?
Yeah, man, something changed about him, and well, we see what changed, because he had many of them, and and after that he had a golf club swinging at his head, and him crashing his car. So, but him coming back and trying to, a couple years ago, he got the Masters, and everyone was happy for him, and man, it was like Tiger is back. I know I was happy for him, man, after everything he's been through, and people, companies, staying with them, endorsements, staying with them, leaving them.
Sir.
Nike wasn't going anywhere, Nike.
Yeah, no, they're making too much money off of Tiger. They wasn't gonna get it. Yeah.
He's not going. He said, no, we're gonna let this blow over for a little while, but no, we're not giving up that cash.
Yeah,
cow.
Yeah, no, nothing at
all. And some of the smaller companies, parted ways with Tiger, but it didn't hurt him one bit. As he came back, and probably got other endorsements going, but the most important one is that Nike one.
Yeah, that's the big one. That's the big one. We can't let go of Tiger. First of all, let me say, first of all, our prayers go out to him. He's been through a lot. I've always been a Tiger Woods fan.
Yeah, you told
ever since he came on I was watching him when he's doing the amateur.
Yeah.
Beating up everybody in the amateurs. And I was like, wow, this kid is going to be special.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate, sometimes we make mistakes in life and so forth and so on. If we have to pay for our consequences, and he was just getting over everything that he did in the past.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, with the women and the cheating and the divorcing and the pills and the drugs and everything else like that.
Mm-hmm.
And when I saw him win that the Masters again, and his son, it really touched me, because his son came into his arm, and his son never seen that. You know what I'm saying? And finally, he was there to grab his son like his dad used to do with him.
It was like that first time when he won the Masters. His dad was there, that big.
So I mean,
can't help but shed a tear.
Let's hope that he recovers. I mean, it's gonna be a while now, because it said that he had they put pins and all kinds of stuff in his leg. His ankle was shattered.
Yeah, got some.
It's kind of like the Alex Smith ordeal that with the Redskins, the quarterback. He had to go through a lot of stuff like that. So let's find out what goes on and what happens.
That story with Alex Smith, his son. But yeah, you hoping Tiger can make a full recovery, and you just don't know. Is it going to be a year? Is it going to be, more before we,
If it's 3 or 4 years, Marcus, let's get him back on the golf course. That's where he belongs. Let's go. Let's hope that he comes back, even if he wins a couple here, a couple there. But let's get his health back. Let's get his well-being back. Let's get his, there's a lot of things that go with that, like, parenting the kids and being with his family and stuff like that. So let's just hope for the best. We'll see what happens with Tiger, but our main goal is his health. That's the first thing. Mm-hmm. And the second thing is getting him back on that golf course where the audience, not just us, but the audience, America, London, everybody loves to see Tiger on the golf course.
Oh, that's why I was going to get to. We can wait and pray he makes a full recovery soon, but we know who pockets is going to hurt. The PGA Tour. The PGA Tour and the ratings, it's right. Tiger doesn't play. The ratings are not
as good. Yes,
it's just a fact. When it comes to golf, and I'm hoping. I'm hoping it's not that long. Maybe 2 years max.
Me too. About that. Yeah,
because dude, the golf world's going to miss him. They're going to miss him, and they're going to be. They're going to be looking for that one, and they try to find them with Jordan Spieth and other ones. They try to make these Cinderella stories, but those stories are only good for a couple of days, and then you move on. You don't really remember those guys. But when Tiger went,
the PGA is trying. I mean, they got Dustin Johnson, they got a couple other golfers that are pretty good, but none of them bring the impact and the charisma and everything like that to the golf. When we see Tiger on the PGA Tour, we're glued to the TV. If we can't be there live, we're glued.
What time is coming on?
No matter what you're doing. Hey, if you're, I've had instances where I'm in the car and it's 4:30, PGA starts at 3:30. I'm on my phone in the car, like, let's see what Tiger's doing.
That's what you're seeing. That's all you're seeing. What Tiger's doing, what place is he in? It doesn't matter who's on the bill. It could be Phil Mickelson. It could be,
and don't let him be in first place, Marcus, because if he's in first place, we're stopping the car and pulling over to the nearest bar or the nearest place.
We're watching. Because it's on ESPN or CBS, and we're watching.
We're stopping and we're watching Tiger. Yeah.
So yeah, man. Hopefully, prayers out to Tiger, man, and that he's.
Yeah, let's hope for the best.
He was able to bounce back, and you can't help but think about the injuries he had previously. And you're like, oh man, I hope his back and it's going to be rehab is going to be it's a long process for him. So
yes,
as long as he's fine, he's coherent, he's here with us, on this planet.
It's all that counts.
And that's all that counts. And that's all, that's all that matters.
Right.
All the other stuff is the cherry and then whipped cream on top. But as long as he's still here with us,
Amen. Amen.
Thank God for that. So yeah, we don't talk about golf much, but hey, when it's Tiger Woods and something like that happens, everyone needs to pay attention and talk about it, and our mind and focus and prayers, to that man. And his angels had to be there with the pictures of that car, man. The pictures of that car, man.
Wow.
And,
unbelievable.
I saw a report earlier today. They said, there's no investigation, really. He wasn't under influence, because that's what I was worried about. One person, accident, no other cars around or anything, but getting the stories of that road is famous, I guess, for some accidents.
Right.
So yeah, man, that car was man. So thank God he's okay. And yeah, man, like just was happy to get that news, just happy to get that news that him being fine. But yeah, we're gonna get into a few other things, man. We got on the list today. We got some UFC, we got some college basketball. We're going to talk about some NBA, even though my team isn't.
I was wondering when we was going to get to talking about the below 500 Celtics, but we will.
Is that the title we're going with? Is that the title we're going with? The below five? I haven't heard that, and that was kind of punching the gut when I heard that today. Below 500 Celtics.
Yes.
But yeah, man, we're gonna get into that later. But I want to first get into the results from this past weekend, UFC fight night, when you had you had a few good fights. I took down the fights that I thought that opened my eyes. You had Andre Arlovsky taking on Tom Aspinall.
Good fight.
That was a good fight. Tom Aspinall controlled that fight, and to control a veteran like Arlovsky, he did his thing. And did you hear the story about him watching Arlovsky as a kid? I guess back in I forget what year they said, it was 2006 or so. I could be mistaken, but yeah, he said he loved Arlovsky as a kid, and to get you get in the ring with somebody you idolize, you know what I mean?
That would be like me and you, Marcus, fighting. You know what I'm saying? Like, like I'm gonna get in the ring with him.
You know what I mean? Like, man. What? Like, come on. But man, he went in there and he handled it like he was the veteran.
Yeah,
he handled it like he was veteran. And you saw Arlovsky when he had the tap, he was like, man, this kid got me.
I just don't know how some of these guys stay like standing after. I mean, they're in great physical shape. Don't get me wrong. They work out, they practice.
Some of the best athletes on the planet.
But man, I've seen some of these shots. It's way different than boxing. I've seen some of these shots that these guys take and they stand. I mean, I'm like, I just can't believe it. I'm like, oh my God. One of these punches would have put somebody in a coma.
Yeah, man. Yeah, so you had that fight that kind of caught my eye. Then you had the women's fight. We had Vieira going against Jana Kunitskaya.
Yeah.
You saw she. Oh man,
I like watching the girls fight, Marcus. Yes, I love watching the girls fight.
I think UFC makes sure, hey, we can't have no weak girls. We're gonna have the best of the best on the planet.
The best.
So these girls fight, and the fight had to get stopped early because Ketlin, she had that. Woo.
Yeah, she got swollen.
That hematoma on her head, like ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh, so yeah, Kunitskaya, she's tough, man. So I'm looking forward to seeing more from her. Hopefully Ketlin can bounce back, because when you suffer an injury like that,
it's tough.
You're just hoping you're okay.
First
when it comes, because man, I mean, we watch it with the men, but I don't know about you, bro, but it's tough for me to see women take those blows like that.
Yeah, no, but don't forget too, these are like hardcore women that live.
Yeah, I know they're hardcore, but for me, it's still to see them get, take those hits. And, oh man,
and they don't give up.
And they don't.
They don't give up.
You see, they had to stop the fight because they like, hey, we can't. We can't continue to fight. Like, no, they can't take no chance. But man, that fight, that was a good fight. I mean, UFC, week after week, they've been. They've been coming.
They're doing their thing. They're doing their thing.
Sure. And you can see with all these, sports companies and sports organizations, that TV money is very important.
Yes, it is.
That TV money is very important. And then of course you got the main event. You had Derek Lewis, Mr. My balls was hot. Derek Lewis versus Curtis Blades. Did you that knockout?
I've never seen a harder uppercut,
dude. And I think what the problem was, Blades was in the perfect position for that uppercut to hit. Like his head basically went down for the uppercut to hit him.
It landed 100%.
And we didn't see it at first, but you saw him go timber like a tree.
It's like a dart, throwing the dart in the middle of the circle, in the middle, hitting the bullseye on a dart. That's exactly what that punch was. But I got scared.
Mm-hmm.
I got scared because he was already out.
Once
the ref let him hit him twice. The ref let him hit him once, and then I said, "Don't let him hit him again. Stop it."
Because he was out when he was out down. He was sleeping.
It could have been worse. It could have been worse.
When you hear the snoring, that's when it's scary for me. When you see him sucking air in their
No,
eyes.
no. After the KO, he was knocked out.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Then after the second one, he was really knocked out.
Oh, like
but he let him hit him again.
Two.
And I was like, dude, how many times are you gonna let this guy hit him? He's already out.
He was asleep.
Sometimes you gotta take responsibility. The ref has to take some kind of action, knowing that when a person's out.
And that's Herb Dean. That's a pro. He's been in UFC, since basically the beginning.
Herb Dean, and it's a heavyweight fight. It's not like two middleweights fighting. These are heavyweights.
That's heavyweight, and in my opinion, Blades was controlling the fight until that.
Yes, knockout. Until that. Yes,
because you saw Lewis. He was complaining about, oh, look, his fingers. He poked my eye. Oh, I saw the eye poke, but he was complaining about his fingers being out, and Dean had to tell him, "There's no complaint, fight, man."
yeah.
And I think that's all. I think Derek Lewis is such a veteran now. That's all mind games to try to get Blades off his.
You have to get an advantage. I mean, people do it. Muhammad Ali did it.
Exactly.
And Muhammad Ali did it. There's other fighters that do it too. Roberto Duran used to do it just to get psych and to psych out the other guy. And
you remember Sugar Ray Leonard was? Oh, he frustrates you, man. Remember the Hagler fight. He's frustrated. Hagler was like.
Which I still think Hagler won the fight, but they gave it to Sugar. I mean, come on, man. I still think Hagler won that fight. I did see the fight. I I believe that Hagler still won that fight. But kudos to Sugar Ray. He's one of the greatest.
I just remember being a kid, and I remember being a fan of both fighters, but I just remember Sugar Ray was all over this is trying to get him off his game. So I think that's what got the judges, because it wasn't a smooth fight like Hagler usually, when he takes over a fight. But those mind games, man, I think that's what Lewis was doing.
It plays a lot in all sports too, Marcus.
The whole mind game.
Boxing.
And then you got Blades going down. I know he's going for a takedown or something.
Right.
Lewis just caught him with perfect time, and boom. And that was it. And then, like you said, those two other blows came out. It's like, ooh, okay.
Stop, please, stop.
Please, for the love of God. Man. But those heavyweights, man. I mean, they put a lineup of good heavyweight fights on that card, man.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to see what Aspinall does, and how he moves up, and maybe for Derek Lewis, this can maybe be another shot at the title, because Blades was looking like if he beat Lewis, he would have been next for a title shot.
Right.
So you never know. But you heard at the end of the fight, you heard who Derek Lewis named as one of his opponents he would like to have. Did you catch that?
No, I didn't catch the ending of that.
He said, they asked him who would he like to fight, and he mentioned one name in particular that caught my ear, and he said, since this person has moved up in weight, he said John Jones.
Oh.
I like Derek Lewis. I like him, but does he want that?
I don't know. We got to see how John Jones handles that heavyweight.
At heavyweight.
It's a different punch. It's a different strength.
It is.
So let's see how John Jones said they're going to fight. He's fighting the winner of the next UFC heavyweight title.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see what John Jones got.
Yeah.
Let's see what he does when he moves up in weight. Personally, I mean, historically, it doesn't work out too well for people that move up in that level and that thing. But
the type of athlete he is, I have faith in him. But like you said, you got to see it to believe it, because moving up in that class, like you, even with in boxing, you had Roy Jones going up in heavyweight, and I don't think that was he probably won a few fights, but to me that's not him. He's better when he's lighter, when he's quicker, when he's faster. That's his thing. To me, the heavyweights are the ones that can handle putting on that weight, like a Tyson, Holyfield, Lennox Lewis. And I thought we were going back to that era, before what's his name got knocked out last year. Mr. Bomb Squad. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Mr. Bomb Squad.
Yeah, DeAndre.
Yes.
But Wilder.
Deontay Wilder.
And wow, and he didn't make no excuses, Wilder. I mean, Fury beat him up pretty bad.
Fury that's a veteran, man. He schooled you. And what's next for Wilder? You know, I want that era of boxing when the heavyweights were the kings of boxing. You know, right. I want that to come back, because that growing up, that was the big fights. That was the fights that sold the most pay-per-views.
And when I was growing up and I was watching boxing in the 70s, when you had guys like Ken Norton, Joe Frazier, George Foreman, and Muhammad Ali, those were the big fights.
Those big fights, right?
Those were the big fights that everybody wanted to watch.
Everybody came together to that one house.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like it was an event.
And it was free back then, Marcus. It wasn't
ABC. Wild World of Sports.
Yes, sir. Howard Cosell, may rest in peace. And all the other guys that did the ABC Wild World of Sports, man. And we were there.
Yeah.
If the fight was on at 3:30 or tape delay and everything growing up
on a Saturday.
I was there. Yep. Me and my dad were there, and we were watching the fights.
We were watching those fights, man. That was something. I don't think you can still get that big fight feel from certain fights, but the feel we used to get when it came to those fights, man. You know, like we were just talking about the Durants and the
Leonards and the Haglers and the Thomas Hearns,
Hitman,
and all those guys.
Man.
Yeah. And on and on and on and on. Cesar Chavez. I mean, that 80s, that late 70s, early 80s. God, there were so many great. I'm talking about Hall of Fame boxers,
legends, icons.
That could probably, if they were in this era, would probably clean everything.
Hagler or Thomas Hitman Hurt. Oh man, they'll be undisputed champion, whatever weight class they
were. Yeah.
Undisputed. They'll have all the belts.
Yeah.
They'll have it won't be one belt here and one belt here there.
Yeah.
Like
well,
it
now,
is now.
And then now you got 20 different belts. So I mean, you got the mosquito belt, the tiger belt.
All right, talk about the
palm tree belt.
So we're talking about the championship belts. I know as a kid, the important belts, in my opinion, was the IBF, the WBA, and WBC. Those were the three.
Those were the three.
Long as if you had those titles, you were the king of your division. You know, then they brought on the WBO, came in, and then they got is that the Ring magazine? I don't know how long.
Yeah, they got now. You can't count. There's so many belts now, you can't even count. You know, and everybody thinks they're a champion. When I mean, I give the props to the people that do have the belts and get them, but you have to have a certain kind of belt to be considered a champion.
That's what I mean, bro. WBC, the IBF, and WBA. Those were the three major titles you had to hold to be. So for us to say, okay, you're the man. You're the man. Now, not you holding one title. You know, not. It just, the titles are too spread out now. Then you got top rank here. Then you got premier boxing champions here, and they don't let each other's fighters fight, and it's just boxing is frustrating. Especially when like us, like we grew up in it, so like we're boxing purists. Yes. We know boxing. We don't know slugfest.
Right.
We won't mind a slugfest here and there.
The thing about it is, Marcus, we want to see the top boxers fight each other.
That's what I'm saying.
You don't get that nowadays. You get all these guys that fight guys that are not even in their class. Like like Canelo fight this week. I mean, I expect that to be. I mean, he's fighting. He's taking on these other guys that are a little heavier than him, going up in weight and everything like that. But he's fighting the British fighters. I never considered any of the British fighters very good. They might be good in their country. But when they fight other people
America,
from the United States
from
or
Mexico,
from anywhere else,
they fight Mexico.
They cave.
Yeah.
They cave.
Yeah.
They cave in.
Yeah. So, yeah, man, we got to get the real fights back in boxing. We want to see the Errol Spences versus the Crawfords.
That's that, man. I've been dying for that fight for 3 years.
I mean, 3. I just about to
4
say
years,
the last
3 years, 4 years, and they gotta do something this year to get that fight on.
It has to happen, man. Like, you can't keep denying them people.
It's not like they're avoiding each other neither.
No, they're talking back and forth. They want to fight. It's all business. It's all business. It's Bob Arum, and then then you got the ones that control PBC, Premier Boxing Champions. So
unbelievable.
Yeah, man. So I think a lot of people get turned off from not getting the big fights in boxing, and they turn the UFC on because they know they're going to get the big fights in the UFC. They know they're going to get the stars. Once you move up, stars fight stars in the UFC. That's just how it is. Dana White and the team at UFC are smart in putting those fights together. And
they put the good ones on.
Yes, that's what I mean.
The good ones on. That's the good thing. Or they put the number 1 ranked contender versus the champion, which is great.
Exactly. And then if the champion's injured or something, then you have somebody be an interim champion. Then you have the champion fight. They give you what you.
Yeah, they give you what you want. It's worth the money. It's worth the money. Definitely.
So yeah, man. Boxing. Come on, like let's get this together in 2021.
Yes, please.
Yeah, and before we move on from fighting, there was a fight on this past weekend. You had Adrien Broner versus Jovanie Santiago. And we talked to each other after the fight, and both of us said Santiago won that fight.
Yes, I saw the whole fight. I did not see Broner winning that fight at all. I don't know if he paid the referee, if he paid the one judge had it 119 to 117 to 111. I was like, what?
Bro, don't get me wrong. I was, hoping, this was going to be a change in the right direction for Broner and to get the win, but to get it like that, and for them, how they explain it? Oh, the judges just like what Broner did more than what?
No,
he didn't land as many punches.
Right.
He didn't throw as many punches.
Yeah. Santiago won that last round, which I think was pivotal.
But you remember his corner said, I guess his manager, is smart because he said, you need a knockout.
Yeah. And he almost got it.
He almost got it. But dude, like, the points are right there. The points are right there. How many punches landed? It's right there. And you're going to say, okay, this guy that landed more punches lost to a guy that landed less and a guy that threw less punches?
And this is why some boxing fans are turned off by boxing because they think it's crooked. They think the judges are relevant.
Bro, I rather watch pro wrestling than for it to get the ending. And I love wrestling, but I know what I'm getting with wrestling. Let me know something, boxer. Let me know the fix is in. Let me know the fix is in so I know what I'm watching.
Right.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Right. Let me know the fix is in so I know what I'm watching.
Bring back my NWO, Marcus. Bring back the good old days.
So I know what I'm watching. Give me a good product so I can be like, yes, I know Broner's going to win this fight because, the promoters already say he's going to win the fight. So, okay, let me know something,
Right,
at least Vince McMahon tells me, okay, Shawn Michaels is going to win or Stone Cold is going to win.
As soon as I heard the decision, I was like, and here we go again with boxing. And this is why boxing people are turned off. And a lot of people don't like watching it because boxing, as you know, even going back to the Cassius Clay days with Sonny Liston and everything, everybody would say the fix is in, this is that, blah, blah, blah. And we see it. We see it every time. When a fighter wins a fight, they either make the fighter draw or they give it to the other person who's not supposed to win. It's unbelievable. They got to do a better job of getting good judges to watch the fight. Me and you would be good judges, Marcus, because we would look at the fight and we would say, wow, that guy kicked this dude's ass.
Exactly.
So, yeah. He won
the actual fight. Winner is going to win the fight.
Yeah. Forget the cards. Forget the rounds.
No,
we know who's winning the fight.
Exactly.
So, I mean, boxing's got to do better. They got to do better to bring their fans back. They got to do better to bring people back. The kids, even the kids that are out there 9 years old in the boxing rings and all this stuff, getting ready, you know, training these little kids. They need to get back, because you got these kids too that are watching the fight and going, man, he really won that fight.
But that's what I'm saying. You know, that's my whole point. Like they see like how these judges just interject and just say, okay, no, that dude didn't win. No, this other dude won. And you're like,
well, even the announcers that were announcing the fight said Santiago won this fight.
Yeah, you and then they were trying to explain the reason why Broner won. Like, oh, the judges just like what Broner did. That's not a way to judge a fight. I don't want to hear that.
Right. I
don't want to hear, oh, they like what he did more.
Yeah,
what?
No.
What did he do more?
Nothing. He got hit with the glove in his face. That's what he did.
So it's just like, come on, man. Like, come on. Either be upfront and be transparent like Vince McMahon and be like, this is what you're getting. That's what I'm giving.
That's what exactly. Exactly.
Or don't give me nothing.
Right.
Don't give me nothing at all. But don't tell me this guy that that didn't even throw as many punches, let alone land as many punches. Won the fight.
Right. No. Unbelievable. And you know something? That guy that Santiago was from, I mentioned it to you, was from my dad and mom's hometown.
Puerto Rico, right?
From Dorado, Puerto Rico. That's where my family's from. And I talked to my dad about it. My dad was like, yeah, I've known his family since he was a little boy.
Wow.
And blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, wow, okay. I once they said Dorado, I was already, okay, let's go Dorado. Let's beat Broner. And then at the end of the fight, I was like, he won.
Yeah.
Yes. And then I saw the verdict. I walked away from the TV.
Yeah.
I just walked away. I was going to slam something, but I did the right thing. I didn't slam anything. I walked in.
Yeah.
And I just went to bed.
Well, hey, that's why I was hoping that didn't happen with the Spence and Garcia.
Right.
Because I saw some years ago, I forget how many years ago, but Garcia fought Peterson. And
yes, I remember that fight.
Peterson won that fight, man. Peterson won that fight. And Garcia, just like how Broner after this fight, they're bragging, oh, nobody ain't getting paid, man.
Right.
Like, dude, go watch the video.
Yeah, go watch the fight. You lost. You lost. Go watch it again. You got an early Christmas present. Go watch it again.
So, yeah, man, it's just those heartbreaks and disappointments. And people get mad at Mayweather because, Mayweather, he controls boxing. He doesn't let boxing control him.
Exactly.
He's
a pioneer.
You can't be mad at him, for that, because boxing, man, they bring these fighters in and they just throw them away. They bring them in and throw them away. Bring them in and throw them away.
Right.
And Mayweather's like, no, you're not doing that with me. I'm controlling this business.
Yeah. And I'm making the money around here.
You're not going to be screwing me. I'm controlling who wins the fight.
That's right.
It's going to be undeniable every time, so.
Unbelievable.
Man, it's just, so I don't know what's next for Broner. It's not, now I'm not excited because how he won the fight. If he would have won it fair and square and he dominated the fight, I would have been like, Broner, is the man, and support him, and hopefully he can climb up in the rankings. But no, man,
we'll see what happens. But I doubt he can contend with the Spences and the Crawfords. If he fights one of those guys, he's done. Yeah, he's done.
Spence,
he might be put asleep.
Spence, I want to say it might go maybe 2 at the most.
Yeah, he might be put asleep.
2 rounds.
Unbelievable.
So I don't know, man. Boxing, get it together, man. You got us boxing purists that need real fights.
We need to do better. We need to do better boxing.
It was better judging, and we seen how the government has stepped in when it comes to college basketball. The government needs to make a boxing commission, man, because it doesn't seem like boxing's going to do it itself. Make these fighters fight, make the box commission control who fights who, not the promoters.
And please let us see the Spencer Crawford fight this year, finally. Please. Let's make that happen, Marcus. Let's make that happen for our sake. Put it on in July or August, maybe the virus will be all done. Everybody be vaccinated. We can get the fans back in. Let's do that. Let's have Spence July 4th fight. Spence versus Crawford.
Hey man,
Independence Day.
I'm with it. I'm with it. All right, man. Moving on from the fights, man. Let's we got a lot of got quite a bit of basketball to.
You want to talk about your Celtics, Marcus?
Well, let's talk about a little college ball first before
you want to talk about your Celtics first, or you want to save them for last?
Yeah, I'm gonna save them for last because I gotta give them a piece of my mind. So we're gonna talk about a little college ball before we lay into the Celtics as a Celtic fan here. So you had on college ball, you had UConn's my team, so I pay attention to what's going on with them. They actually beat Georgetown Tuesday night.
Yeah.
That was a good win for them. They need to keep these, hopefully there's not another pause because they've been having problems with the virus and they haven't played as many games as other teams. So
hey yo, and that guard James Bouknight, he's something else. He's something else. I've seen him play. I'm a so-called UConn fan because I'm from Connecticut, but my team is Louisville.
Yeah.
And they need help, Jesus. But Bouknight, I've seen him play 3 games so far this year. The guy's the real deal, man.
Every game.
I mean, he's good.
And he was going for it. Yeah.
Good. Was he a sophomore or freshman?
I think he's going to be
I'm not too sure what he is, but
I think he's going to be a junior, or either he's a junior.
I
know he's not. I know he's probably going to the NBA. Probably.
I don't know. You never know. You never know.
We'll see.
You never know. But
he was out for so long. Then he came back and he lit it up like the first play of the game, man. He made something.
And they're pretty so far. Remember, they're not playing with all their players.
Yeah.
UConn.
Yeah.
Got a lot of them hurt, which some of them are like 2 or 3 of the starters that start on that team. They're going to probably make the NCAA, I think. They would get a couple more wins under their belt. They'll probably make the NCAA. And who knows from there, they got a good team. They're a good team. And the more you play, the better you get. Yep. The more people, the team understands each other's how they play and so forth and so on. Yep. But they're going to be good. Well, Louisville, on the other hand, Marcus, we're in trouble. I don't even want to talk about them. I feel like the Celtics, like you talk about the Celtics.
Now, I was looking for Louisville games. Like, are they even playing, or are they?
Some of the games they're playing. It's just that a lot of teams they're playing, they got blown out by North Carolina last week. And Louisville hadn't played in 21 games due to the COVID. They were off for 3 weeks. They had a couple players that came down with COVID. Then the following week, a couple more players came down with COVID. But then they played North Carolina. North Carolina, oh my God, from beginning to end, just scraped them. But it all goes with not playing for 3 weeks, getting a win back and everything like that.
Yeah.
Will they make the tournament? Yes, I do believe they will make the tournament. Mm-hmm. I think their record is something like 12-6 or 12-5 or something. UConn, so they get a couple more wins. They'll probably make the tournament. As you know, there's been a crazy year ever since last year. So we're going into the ending of the 2020 COVID era. So, but I'm looking forward to a good tournament. I want to see a good tournament. I want to see a good tournament being played even through all of this, just because of March Madness. Yeah, and because people, flock to that and go see the games, and we got all your people from Indiana, Ohio, wherever they are. They make the tournament. They have followers. They go to the bars. They go to Hooters or whatever. They go watch the games. Although I go to Hooters for something different, but that's all right.
I go for the wings. Yeah, man. But let's see, man. Like maybe when it comes to the tournament, it'll be. I don't want any hiccups when it comes to the virus and everything. I don't know if they'll create a bubble situation for the kids. Just hoping that these seniors, that are on these teams can get it, because the seniors last year, man, it got taken away from by this virus, and that's so disappointing. When those kids, you basically work all the time from middle school to high school, then you get to college and you're a senior and you're ready to go out with a bang, and then it's all taken away. You know, the world shut down.
Look out for Michigan. I seen Michigan beat Ohio State on last Sunday. They got this white guy, Kleffner or whatever his name is, in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Dominated. Michigan is 16-1. Got a good program. Got a good basketball team.
Juwan Howard has turned that program around. You know,
they got a good team. They're 16-1. Look out.
Yeah.
They got a tough game tonight. They play Iowa in Michigan, so it's going to be on ESPN. That should be a good game tonight. I'll probably tune into that just to see Michigan play at home, and they're 5-point favorites, I guess. Yeah. Ohio State's another good basketball team.
Yeah,
they're 18-5 or something like that. They got a good team also. So you're going to expect a couple Big Ten teams to be real good. Wisconsin's still good. Iowa's good. They're ranked number 9. So we'll see what happens. It's going to be exciting. The tournament's going to be exciting this year.
Yeah, man. You know, because I guess you got some of the sophomores and juniors from last year. They're going to be hungry to show out.
Yes,
this year. So, keep our fingers crossed. Hopefully that the March Madness can go on without any hiccups.
Yes, let it go on. Yeah, and let it continue. I think after this year, everything will get back to normal in the summer. That's what we're hoping for.
Well,
everybody will be vaccinated. Everybody will be good. We can have people go back to the stands.
Well, hopefully, because we got the Olympics this summer, so
that's right too. Yes,
so we're hoping, hopefully that can go off like it's supposed to as well. But yeah, man, we guys like us, we need that March Madness, man. It's just something about it, the feel and the excitement, and you got your boards, and you looking at your seeing who won, see if you can win that pot if it's at your job, or or if you got one online with your buddies or whatever.
Yeah, we definitely got to do the NCAA tournament brackets this year.
Yeah, we'll definitely do. We got to do the brackets, and
Hey, the winner might get a toughest balls shirt. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
That'll be what's up. Give toughest balls shirt. Have the fans, and the listeners out there participate in this one year, man. So looking forward to the NCAA March Madness, the tournament, and you got other teams like you were talking about. Michigan is good. You got Baylor, they're number 2.
Gonzaga's still undefeated from what I still think they're still undefeated. So they're like 21-0 or 22-0.
Yeah.
So we'll see, man. I mean, it's gonna be Gonzaga's 22-0. I mean, number 1 ranked. But don't forget, they're in a little weak schedule. They're in a weak conference. So, we'll see how they do. They're good every year until they can't win the big one,
Right, man. So, yeah, man, I'm excited to see that pop off. And, you had some games last night. You had...
You sure you don't want to talk about the Celtics now?
We get into that. Yeah, FSU, beat Miami. So, a little Florida rivalry there.
Good.
And, Got Alabama against Arkansas. I mean, man, you got Oklahoma. Oklahoma took a loss Tuesday night. They're number 7. Kansas State beat them. So yeah, man, I'm interested to see what teams make it. Like you were saying earlier, hopefully UConn can make it in the tournament.
We need CT in there, girls and guys. We know the girls are gonna make it. It's just
Well, that's what I was saying. I mean, how many schools can say the girls and guys won the same year twice?
Yeah,
it's the only school that can say that. So
twice.
These recruits come play at UConn. Y'all stop going to all these.
And UConn should have won it a couple more times with the team they had when they had the Charles Villanueva, and all that guys on that team. They should have won it about 2 times more.
Yeah, back then. Yeah. So man, like people need to, these recruits, they need to give UConn, a little more respect.
Right.
We don't got the banners like the women, but hey.
We got still CT, Marcus. It's still CT,
and we got some banners. Yeah, man. So leaving the college ball and before we get up out of here, we go and talk about some NBA, man. Oh man, well,
before you talk about the Celtics, let's make a point to what I said last week on the show. The Utah Jazz are the best team in the NBA.
Man,
I saw them play last night. I saw the game last night against the Lakers. I was in bed. Had the TV on in the living room. Mm-hmm. Yo, I was impressed. I know the Lakers didn't have Anthony Davis. That's fine. They're a different team with him than they are without him. Without him, they're 5-5. They're a 500. They're a 500 team.
AD was
with Anthony
out.
Davis, they're a little better.
Schroeder was out.
They're a little better. Schroeder was out and everything. But Utah didn't care. Utah was like, listen, I seen our boy Donovan Mitchell come down the middle and tomahawk jumped up with the right hand and dunked. These guys were playing like I've never seen that kind of speed on the Utah Jazz team.
But like I said last week, bro, I really think like they were already a good team, but Shaq, taking a little jabs at Donovan Mitchell
as usual.
that was probably the wrong thing because I think the Utah Jazz realized they messed up last playoffs.
Yeah, Phoenix beat them when not Phoenix, Denver. Denver beat them in the bubble. Remember, they won 7 games. What a series!
Denver got hot.
I saw that whole series. What a series! Yeah. Murray and Mitchell were going back and forth in that series. Yeah. They're both averaging like almost 40 a game.
Yeah.
Both of them.
Yeah, both of them were going back.
Yeah, both of them were going off. 50 here, 50 there, 50 here. But that I think that made Utah a stronger team, and they have everything. They got a bench. They got shooters. They're 3-point. They're mostly a 3-point shooting team unless they get the ball in the Gobert. But they're the best team, and right now they're the best team in the NBA.
At this moment,
they're the best team in the NBA, and it's hard. It's hard to beat them when they can shoot threes and play defense, and you got a defensive player of the year in the middle, which I believe he will win defensive player in the year. That's what's making him real good is Gobert. He's blocking shots. He's getting rebounds. He's getting offensive rebounds. Mm-hmm. They put him in that little pick and roll, which I saw last night, jamming. Donovan Mitchell throwing him alley-oop passes and everything like that. Yo, Utah is hands down the best team in the NBA. Ain't no question, ain't no doubts. You can't change my mind and tell me they're not.
But yeah, like we were saying last week, the Lakers, they don't have that size in the middle anymore.
They're in trouble, Marcus.
They're missing JaVale McGee and they're missing Dwight Howard.
Yeah, they're in trouble. They're in trouble.
Marc Gasol is not filling in.
They're in trouble. In the playoffs, if the playoffs come and they're without AD, LeBron James going to have to score 60 points.
That's the only other way. And hopefully AD come back because when you talk about Achilles strain, he's going.
Yeah, that's tough to come back. Yeah, that's tough to come back.
Losing games like this.
Yeah.
Speaking of losing, I freaking Boston Celtics, man.
Atlanta got their number.
Dude.
Remember, Atlanta got their number.
Dude, like
Atlanta beat them in Boston a few weeks ago. Remember that?
But Atlanta has been coming for them for some time because they've been going back and forth probably the last couple of seasons. I remember them playing last season. They were going back and forth, and Atlanta's now, the Hawks are like, we got your number now. They
3-pointed them to death last night. How do you let Gallinari hit 10 3-pointers?
Now, how many points? You ever see Gallinari score that many points?
No.
Like, Boston, what are you doing? And I'm one to say, I don't care. Danny Ainge, he's former Celtic, and he's been a general manager for some time now. Dude, you only bought one championship as a general manager. That was 2008.
Yeah.
It's 2021.
But don't get me wrong now. Danny Ainge he gets players over there.
But he's not. Remember, he was able to get the big three. He's not able to get multiple star players like he was able to before.
I think you know what's happening with Boston, Marcus, and I'm not sure. This is just my calculated guess here. Something's going on with the coach. I don't know if the coach if the players are not related to him or he's not related to the players. They got Tatum. They got Brown. Yeah. They got Walker. they got pieces. But remember what I said last week on the show? They're good. They just ain't good enough.
No, they're not. And I've been saying for like I wish we were able to get someone like a AD. You know, I just heard I think it was this morning that Houston was trying to trade Harden to Boston. Houston wanted Jaylen Brown and Marcus Smart, and Boston said no.
Wow.
I mean, I can understand not wanting to give up Jaylen Brown, but man, you got a chance to get James Harden, and then you got Tatum, and then you got Walker.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Well, what from I heard is that the Celtics might be interested in getting DeMarcus Cousins. Well, I mean, Boogie can still play.
We need some size, man. Because
Boogie can still play though.
Yeah, we need some size.
He's 6'10", but he can still play. And Weiss can come off the bench.
Yeah,
your center now, come off the bench and give him minutes. But that would be a good pickup for them.
Yeah, because here's
another rumor going around the NBA, Marcus. Kyle Lowry. The Sixers are trying to work a deal to get Kyle Lowry over to Philly.
Oh, that will probably put them over the hump because they've been technically they've been
They say that might be the missing piece.
Yeah, they've been the
we don't know for who or for what.
Yeah, they've been good this year though.
And the Knicks are trying to sign Andre Drummond. They're trying to finalize a deal to sign Andre Drummond. It's breaking news. Tough as balls always has.
We always gotta break the news.
The Knicks are trying to finalize a deal to get Drummond over there in New York. Another one of our CT boys.
Yeah, well, that'll be bringing some eyes. You have Derrick.
Well, then you got Randall playing power forward, and you got Drummond in the middle.
Yep.
A lot more rebounds, Marcus. Yeah. Lot better team than Knicks.
Yeah, man. I mean that'll be a good move for the Knicks. But man, Boston needs a big man because they have no. They don't have a Anthony Davis or Kevin Garnett that can score. They don't have a big man that can score.
There's three people out there. You can get either Drummond, you can get DeMarcus Cousins, or you can go after Blake Griffin. Does Danny Ainge want to risk that and take the contract? Does he want to do that? Does he want to make the Celtics better, or does he just wait till the draft?
I don't know. We bid in the draft, and I think I win those votes. I'm just saying we got Jaylen Brown from the draft. We got Tatum from the draft. You know what I mean? We've been in that. We've been in the Eastern Conference Finals.
That's right.
Times last year. We just can't make it to the finals, and that's just getting frustrating. You got to make it to the finals. You got to win another championship. I say. Brad Stevens, his job is on a hot seat. He's on a hot seat. And to me, Danny Ainge, man, I mean, yeah, you've been able to draft talent, but one championship in the time you've been a general manager.
Right.
The big three, that seemed like that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Garnett Garnett, Paul Pierce.
If you feel that's a long time ago, Marcus, my Knicks haven't won since 72. So I must feel like an old grandfather right now, compared to what you're going through, Marcus. Ain't nothing of what I'm going through, Marcus. Nothing at all.
Was Phil Jackson still playing last time?
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was. But the funny thing about it is, Marcus, is that like I tell all these guys at the barbershop where I hang out and stuff. Let me shout out to them. Let me shout out my man Jose with an H, Fade Man.
Yeah.
Curdy Kurt, Chad Blostein. Let me shout out to them who hear my mouth every day. I'm at the barbershop talking sports. So shout out to them. But yeah, man, I always tell them the thing about that is that I watched it.
Yeah, man.
I watched the Knicks 2 championships.
Yeah.
And they say, you're old as dirt or whatever. I said, last time I checked, it was still the NBA like it is today, still the NBA.
Yeah.
So I watched both of those championships, but Marcus, my teams, my baseball team, the Yankees haven't won one since 2008. Our team.
Yes, that's our team.
The Knicks haven't won one since 72, and the Raiders haven't won one since 83. So can I please, Marcus, please, just one more time, watch one of these teams win a championship. That's all I'm asking for. Not asking for anything else. Just one more time.
Yeah, brother. I feel you. And on that note, we're gonna get up out of here, man. We're gonna get up out of here because I can't keep going on about my Celtics, man. It is getting very disappointing with this team, you know. So
Yeah.
on that note, we're gonna let the Knicks be the last thing we talk about because I can't no more. And if they lose again, I might pull the rest of the hair I do have left on my head out.
I want to send out before we leave. Let me send out a little shout out to some of my boys back in CT. Shout out to Deja Dennis. Willie Dennis, good childhood friend of mine, played on the same basketball high school team with me. The big Ed Irizarry, Charlie Nazario, Everett Garcia. We love y'all, man. Love you. Hope you guys tune into the show and get us some audience out there, man. Get us some fans. We're gonna be here tough as balls.
Yeah, man. Plug that fire stick, man, before we get up out of here.
Yes, sir, man. Get me up, man. We got the best cable going around, the best sportscast going around, tough as balls. Cable TV, $30 a month, gets you all your sports packages. You'll never miss a game. You'll get your premium channels, your cable channels, movies, all the latest movies, everything like that, man. Hit me up, 239-237-8164. This is the freaking Puerto Rican along with the chosen one, man. The best sports talk going around. Tough as balls, baby.
You know what it is, man. And make sure you follow the show on Twitter, on Instagram, and Facebook. That's at Tough as Balls. That's at Tough as Balls. And if you want to get at the show for anything, all you got to do is email us. It's toughasballs@gmail.com. It's toughasballs@gmail.com. I am Marcus Chosen Brown for the freaking Puerto Rican.
Hey!
Down there in beautiful Florida, we are out.
Peace.
Now we touch the sky. In the meantime, we keep on making moves. In this limelight, you always gotta show and
prove. Chosen.
Fall down, we get back up again. It's the will inside the battle to the very end. Green light, watch that green light. Man, I worked so hard, get the team right. Had to put it